Good morning, everyone. My name is Maddie Kolpa. I'm a member of the board here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. On behalf of the board and the program council, it is my honor to welcome you here on this dark and soggy morning. Before I jump into the rest of our announcements, just a quick reminder to use caution as you move throughout the building today. The heavy rain has revealed a couple of leaks throughout the building. The floor will be a little wet and slippery, so just be careful. We don't want anyone falling this morning. As we enter this space today, please know that you are surrounded by the love of this community where all are welcome. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time here or your 101st time, if you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome here. If we can find the camera right there with the red dot and just give a quick wave to everyone watching us from elsewhere this morning. If you would like more information on our church, please fill out the visitor card in the pocket in front of you or visit our website, tvuuc.org, and select Stay in Touch. If you are interested in religious exploration classes for your children or adult RE for yourself here at TVUUC, please visit the RE hallway after the service, through the double doors past the kitchen to speak to an RE leader. You can also find more information on our website or at the RE welcome table in the gallery. If you need any accessibility aids during the service, such as a large print hymnal, hearing device, or noise-canceling headphones, those can be found on a cart near the welcome table in the lobby. Our ushers will be glad to show you the way or collect one for you if needed. Our ushers are also able to provide guidance around the building if you are a newer visitor or need help locating the restrooms, exits, or any other areas of our building. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit today anywhere you like, because everywhere will be easy for your little ones to see what is going on. We do have an extra space up here with some handicrafts if someone needs any up here. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, and we understand that silence is never completely silent. You should also feel free to change seats at any time during the service if you need to move closer or even just stretch your legs. If you or your children need to step out of the sanctuary for a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is a glass-enclosed room at the back of the sanctuary where you can still see and hear the service. We have a few quick announcements this morning. Questions is a meeting for visitors or those who want to know more about TVUUC, Unitarian Universalism, and our path to membership. It is facilitated by our prospective new member and outreach coordinator, Mark Mahundro. Is Mark in here? Oh, there he is, right back there. Light snacks will be provided, and the next session is today at 12:30 after church in the Lizzie Crozier French Room. We'd like to extend a big thank you to all volunteers and participants who celebrated with us at the West Knox Pride Festival. We appreciate and are inspired by every moment our community contributes to TVUUC and the greater Knoxville area and beyond. With extreme heat predicted in the coming week, members are welcome to come to the church building as a cool, safe space during open hours. If it is outside of business hours, please call the pastoral care number listed on your order of service if you need assistance. Please gather with us next week after the service for the first Sunday lunch in the fellowship hall where all are welcome. And you may notice that the order of service looks different as we work to improve readability and conserve resources. Please scan the QR code to visit our website and calendar for the latest information. This Sunday's generosity offering supports TVUUC's operating budget, helping us live our values, nurture our community, and sustain our mission year-round. Ways to give are listed in the order of service, including a QR code that will take you directly to the giving page. If you are watching online, you can click the blue Give button on your screen. After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. If you are visiting, would like a tour of the building, or have questions about our church, you can look for me there, and I'll be glad to chat and show you around. If you have questions about the path to membership, I'll be happy to introduce you to our prospective member coordinator, Mark Mahundro. And now, if you have not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter worship together.
So to just get everybody familiar with their body and a little more relaxed around the idea, this is actually something that is designed to help calm you down and regulate your nervous system. I'm having a lot of nervousness. But if kids want to stand up and come out, you're welcome to come out away from your chair. This is something that you ideally can do standing up. But if you need to stay seated, you can still participate. So it is called a shake, and we're gonna do just what that sounds like, and I'm gonna walk you through it. So beginning, just kind of wake up a foot, pick a foot and kind of tap it on the ground, and you know it's there. And now tap your other foot and kind of wake it up. And maybe tap your hands and kind of get some feeling going in your fingers. So now going back to your feet, just give a foot a shake, and now feel that little bit of shaking move up to your knee. Very subtle. And bring that shake up to your hip. And switch sides, starting with your foot, and bring that shake up to your knee and up to your hip. And now your hands, and you can do those together, shaking your hands, moving that shake up to your elbows, and now up to the shoulders. Sorry ladies, some things extra might shake there. And into your shoulders, and now get the whole body just kind of bouncing and shaking. Now you might move just a little bit faster. You might move a little bit faster. You might move your arms up and get your head going. And then you might move a little bit slower and get that shake very subtle. It doesn't have to be a lot to get your circulation moving. It's kind of like your body's whispering. And then just build it back up one more time, slowly and gently, building your shake all the way, feeling your feet on the ground, until you're loud and proud with your hands in the air. And when you're ready, just stop. And now you'll feel, just take a deep breath and kind of feel how your body feels. Hopefully a little bit different than when you walked in a good way. And when you're ready, you can have a seat. Thank you.
Words come from an excellent book by Ella Frances Sanders called Eating the Sun, Small Musings of a Vast Universe, which offer a very poetic understanding of science. She writes, "There is really no better word to describe what electrons do than dancing. These dance steps vary and electrons never fire, and no two will follow exactly the same steps. You appear at a subatomic level to be dancing all the time, which might provide food for thought next time you feel unable to do more than just a little self-conscious swaying or eyes on the floor shuffle. So we welcome you into this sacred space, and we welcome your shuffle, and we welcome small swaying. We welcome whatever level of movement you feel called to bring to this worship service. Come, let us worship together. Join in only one verse of our opening hymn, 212 in the great hymnal, We Are Dancing Sarah's Circle.
So, ecstatic dance. These are two words that strike a lot of fear and trepidation into people when I mention that this is what we do here on the third Friday of the month. And I understand why. There's a sense of awkwardness to walking into something that you're not really quite sure what you're gonna get into, kind of like me standing here now. And people generally will say, oh, I don't dance. No. And if you're kind of like me when I first started, I'm like, I'm a little quiet. I don't know if I do anything ecstatically, let alone dance. So I can say I am having some ecstatic anxiety in the moment. So bear with me, please. But I'm gonna take you through today a little bit of what it is like when we come here into the space to do the practice. And we do view it as a practice. For many of us, it is a way for us to express ourselves, to find our joy, to reconnect with ourselves, both in our heart and our minds and our spirits. And so we've patterned today where we can give you a little bit of a, let's say, dipping your toe into that water, and hopefully maybe later you'll bring some jazz hands and join us on a Friday. So as you'll see, we've created the space to emulate a circle, and we open and close our practice with a circle. And in part, just the nature of having a circle, it subtly implies that it is a safe space, that this is a place where everybody has their heart centered forward, and you can look around the room and see another person. And you're here just by showing up. There's a generosity of spirit and a willingness to be present, and that alone is the beginning of the dance and the beginning of the practice. And so while we say, yes, it's a safe space, the practice is really, as I call it, a brave space. We're asking you to kind of drop your expectations and let go of structures and to engage the music, because we follow a wave with the music that's provided as our support. It's our guide. It allows us to either sit quietly and focus our attention on the music that is very carefully and intentionally selected to follow a pattern that takes you on a journey. And where we hope is that, like a wave, where it may start similar and end in a similar fashion, where it ends up is somewhere different. And so we ask that when you come into the space, and you can move as much or as little as you want. For us, when we say breath is movement, we mean that. Breathing is kind of like dancing on the inside, kind of where it counts, because sometimes what's happening internally for you is more important than what you're showing on the outside and what everyone can see. It's not a space of performing. So when we invite you for each song to come up and move however you feel led to move, it's kind of like being a free range and self-led. And there's a little awkwardness in that at first, because it's the muscle that you have to learn to stretch. So I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. So anyway, as you come into the space, it's not a performance. There's no expectation in any given part of your day with any kind of relationship that you have. There's probably a subtle and unintentional understanding that there's some sort of performance required of you, whether you're that coworker that gets all the extra work because they know you'll get it done, or you're the friend everybody comes to as if you're their therapist, or you're the caregiver, or you're just the person that brings the laughter to the room, or you're the soft place that everybody likes to land. There is inevitably an expectation of how you're going to perform and show up in that relationship that you have. So when we come into this space and ask you to move, it's not a performance. There's not going to be eyes on you watching. You can be seen and felt in the space, but we feel one another through our breath and through our movement, and by letting our attention be reclaimed for something that is for ourself. And that music today is your guide. And before each song that's played, I will jump in and give you a little bit of an idea of how we engage that part of the wave, so that you get a little bit of an understanding of where we're going and maybe how to participate that feels comfortable to you, because this practice is one that's going to meet you where you are. And so you get to decide what feels comfortable to you, what feels, as we say, safe to you, how brave you are today. And it's an opportunity to find that circle within yourself of, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? And eventually, hopefully, that music carries your attention to a place where you're actively listening, but that becomes a sense of just feeling the music. And you're consciously choosing how to move, eventually becomes intuitively letting your body show you how it wants to move. And the emotions that, yes, they sometimes come up, become not just emotions you're aware of, but just a matter of, I'm feeling today. And so I hope you will join us out here, or get up and dance or move in your space where you are. And I look forward to sharing this brave space with you.
Good morning. My name is Wimberly. I'm a member of the spiritual care team here at TVUUC. We're a group of heart-centered, trained volunteers whose aim is to stay attuned and responsive to the needs of this congregation. We can be reached by phone or by text, and you can find our number on the back of the order of service. We work closely with the Caring Table, and we encourage you to stop by there after the service today to add your name to messages of support that will be mailed to those in need of good wishes. The table is staffed today by Jane Rapparelli and Sharon Fields. As many of you know, we said goodbye to our dear Faye Joyce yesterday in a wonderfully crafted service that included favorite poems, songs, and fond remembrances. We were able to celebrate her generous nature, remember her infinite curiosity about others and the world, and honor her irreplaceable spirit in this community. After the service yesterday, Faye's brother, Johnny, said he wished he could have addressed the congregation to say how much he appreciated the care that members of this church showed to Faye in her final months. He said Faye was always there for him, and he felt he should have been here for her, except that his wife is very ill and needed him at home in Kentucky. The fact that Faye was, in fact, cared for meant the world to him. And this morning, Faye's niece, Diane Rogers, wants this congregation to know how much she appreciates the love that was shown to her aunt. She wrote many times she had spoken of her church family. I know now that was her family also. I will see her beautiful smile again and feel her loving nature. Thank you again. Love to all. And on a celebratory note, we send birthday wishes to Roy Kersey, who turns 79 today. Happy birthday, Roy. Let's see. And finally, after the service, lastly, from Carolyn Rogers, she writes, please join us on this last Sunday of Pride Month 2026. Let's see, I've got too many pages. Okay, she says, what does it mean to really listen to someone? How does it feel to be really heard? Are you curious about how to build a stronger, more caring connection? Join the Right Relations team for a relaxed hour of deep listening and meaningful sharing. Through practice of mindful dialogue, we will learn how our stories connect and where we differ, cultivating the spirit of covenant and deepening our practice of beloved community, one conversation at a time. So this fourth Sunday listening circle is happening today from 12:30 to 1:30 in room C of the RE wing. The topic on this final Sunday of Pride Month, what does pride mean to you? How does this relate to right relations? It will be facilitated by the Right Relations team members, who are Carolyn Rogers, Kathy Greenberg, Elnora Williams, Patsy Farmer, and Barbara Taylor. So for the joys and concerns mentioned just now, as well as those held in confidence or that are unknown to us, please join me in singing Sending You Light. You'll find the words in your order of service.
As we move into the first movement of our wave, this is a time when we start things off slowly. We warm up into entering the dance. And if you're not ready to kind of tap into your own body, a great way to begin the practice is to hold those joys and concerns that you have for others, or to send that light and love like the song's words, and just kind of hold that in your heart and your space, and letting your mind and attention listen to the music actively and kind of feel how that feels. And as you're ready, just slowly moving to the music. And that's how we enter the dance.
Good morning. As well as being a member of this congregation, I'm also a member of the Knoxville Movement Collective, which is what Diana helps facilitate, and it's such a pleasure to have those two worlds intersect here at TVUC, so thank you all. Is this better? Well, on behalf of the Knoxville Movement Collective, thank you, and it's so nice to be here with the merging of those two worlds. And this is a poem by Mandy McGlynn called Miriam's Daughter. I am the daughter of Miriam. She taught me how to dance over my freedom without stepping on the bodies of my would-be captors. She taught me to walk headlong into impossible waters, to lead the crowd through the narrow place with utter faith that it will hold long enough for us to get free. She taught me how to tie my sandals for a long, unknown journey. And most of all, she taught me, by doing more than feeling, how to quietly pack tambourines in the terrifying night of night when we barely have space to carry sufficient food, water, and blankets to last us through the miles ahead. She taught me that it's not enough to scrape by and survive. We must be willing and prepared to dance with joy when liberation arrives. We must believe so deeply in our souls in the arrival of that time that we place those timbrels in our packs and we pray to the Holy One to send us food.
So as we enter towards our second part of our dance wave, this is where you're more warmed up. And so instead of reflecting and holding space or thoughts for others, we might be more into our body and into our own feelings. So as we go into the second song, really trying to feel where you are and letting that music hold you. And you don't always like all the music that's played in a dance wave, and that's fine. You might bring your attention to some of the sounds you hear, some of the ways that you do or don't like how it sounds. You might match your breath to the tempo. You might ask, how does the music ask me to turn? Do I move in a way that's uncomfortable to me or more in a flow? So it's coming to it with a sense of curiosity and questioning, but also with a more focused attention that also leads you deeper into where am I in this moment and how am I present with what is within me. And that's how we enter the second part of the dance.
So now is the time in the service where we invite you to give generously to the continuing work of our congregation, which includes hosting community groups like Knoxville Movement Collective, being a community center where so many great things happen. And I understand you, Owen, you want to say something about drums up, guns down?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Owen Davis, and I have been raised in this congregation since I was basically a baby, so I love this place. I'm really happy to be here with y'all. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to this organization that I have a lot of history with. I've been doing drumming since I was about 5 years old, and there's an organization in town called Drums Up, Guns Down. You can look them up at drumsupgunsdown.com. They're led by a really amazing man named Obayana Ajanaku, aka Oba for short, and he founded the organization, I think in about 2022, to address, there was a wave of gun violence that resulted in the deaths of 6 youth from Austin East High School in the span of about a month, which was very tragic, and it really, really hit the community hard. And you know, in the spirit of the ecstatic movement and music of today, I thought that it would be great to give a shout out to this organization. They do a lot of great work because they use African drumming as a way to kind of channel emotions and deal with the hardships of life. It's a great stress reliever. I can personally attest to it. I've been drumming with them for a very long time, and it is just one of the best things I think you can do is just, if you're really stressed, if you're having a difficult time, or if you just want to express yourself, just bang it all out on a drum and you will feel better, I guarantee you. So yes, you can find ways to donate at their website. I think it's a really great cause. They do a lot of positive community service and just help in the area, especially with disadvantaged youth, and it's just a great organization. So yeah, drums up, guns down. Yeah.
So when you come to a dance wave, we typically don't break up the movements. Things seamlessly flow, and you'll get to know that we're moving into a different type of part of the wave. And so this third and fourth movement, we're gonna stitch together the way you would more so experience during our practice. But the third wave is where, or third movement is where we've reached the peak of the wave. It's like a bell curve, and so this is where the most energy is. And by this time, people are ready to really release their energy. There's a lot of joyfulness. There's a lot of foot stomping, hand clapping. We use a lot of drumming type music at that part. And there is a lot of vocalization. You're welcome to hoot and holler. We've had animal noises. We are just asking there's not conversation. So this is the most energetic part. And if you're not ready still to move, you're also invited to come and pick up an instrument. There's extra noisemakers and drums, and express yourself that way or join the energy of the dance in that way. And then as we move into that fourth movement, that is where your inner child kind of comes out. The music tends to be somewhat familiar at times, a little funky, a little groovy, and a little improvisational, and just kind of let your inner child come out to play. So have fun. So we're going to take all that energy and move it into your playfulness.
So many years ago when I was teaching Sunday school, we had a class called Church Across the Street where we would visit different religious traditions. We go to the synagogue, and then we went to the Catholic Church, and we went to various forms of the Protestant tradition and other faith traditions. And the whole goal is to help our kids become more ecumenical and interfaith. And what I learned was in the early part of that class, we were getting good at teaching our kids to be ecumenical in sleeping. Falling asleep in class, falling asleep in different worship services. And then we went to Rogers Memorial Baptist Church in Mechanicsville, and all the congregation, they didn't even have hymn books. They would just sing, and they would move back and forth. So move back and forth with me. And they would sing, "What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arms." And I noticed while we were doing this that the kids were not sleeping. They were paying attention. And I know it had something to do with movement. Years later, I took our teenage group to a Boston Heritage trip to learn more about Unitarian Universalism, and we had one thing on our list that I thought had nothing to do with Unitarian Universalism. we were going to go see the Blue Man Group. And as we were walking, we were in the line for the Blue Man Group, I noticed that the theater had a plaque on it that said that this theater used to be a Universalist church. So I turned to the kids and said, you don't know this, but blue men played an important role in the foundation of our denomination. And there we learned various rock concert movements. So one of those rock concert movements is nod your head. You got it. Another rock concert movement is the fist bump. Another one is raise the roof. And another one is put your hands in the air like you don't care. And the kids weren't falling asleep during that either. Years later, I would take another teenage group on our Boston Heritage trip. There, for those of you who are new, Unitarianism has a lot of its history. In Boston, in the 19th century, they said Unitarians believe in the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, and the neighborhood of Boston. But we're bigger than that theologically and geographically. But we were taking the kids, and we went to Ralph Waldo Emerson's house, and we went to Walden Pond, Henry David Thoreau's place, and we learned about Margaret Fuller, who led early discussions with women on women's equality and in education. And Elizabeth Peabody was an important part of that movement. And we were learning about all these things when we turned a corner, and there was a group that was busking, and the song they were playing was Shake Your Groove Thing. So we got out there and danced, we got out there and we shook our groove thing. But afterwards, I kind of pulled the kids together on that street corner and said, we've been learning about a lot of 19th century Unitarians and Universalists, William Ellery Channing, and Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Margaret Fuller, and Elizabeth Peabody. But one of the things you need to know about them is that they rarely, if ever, shook their groove thing. And so there's room for growth, room for change. Matthew Blondell told me about someone who was in the Knoxville Movement Collective, and aren't they wonderful? Thank you, Diana, for bringing that energy. And everybody who's a part of the collective, bringing that energy into the room. Talking about a woman who was there for the first time, and she says, oh, this is wonderful. I can take up space. And that's what we're all about, creating places where people can take up space. Which brings me back to Rogers Memorial. After the hymn, the minister got up in the pulpit, and he read the text. He said, ye shall be born again. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. I can't figure it out with my head, but I can feel it. And I hope that's what you feel when you leave this place today.
So that takes us to our final part of the wave. And typically, so we follow it, and like I said in the beginning, a wave resembles maybe the beginning, but you're in a different place. So we specifically chose this last song to kind of be a reflection back and a circling back to where we started today. And I'd like you to just, you're always welcome to move, but also taking the time to reflect and see, how does my body feel? Is it different from when I walked in? How do I feel more or less connected to the people around me? And how do I feel more connected with myself? And if I wasn't able to hold the light for myself in the beginning, when I'm listening to this music here now, reflecting back to me, am I able to hold some of that light for myself?
you choose to show. I'm always there for you, and so I want you to know. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Reverend Bruce told a story at General Assembly about a dance place in Charleston, West Virginia. And it was the only place he could be safe being out of the closet. And people could come there and be themselves. And whenever something tragic happened, a transgender person was beaten, or someone died with AIDS, whenever something tragic happened, there might be a protest and there might be some sort of action, but they would also hold a dance, a celebration of life in the midst of tragedy. And with that thought in mind, I say, prophetic church, the world awaits your liberating movement ministry. Go forward in the power of love. Proclaim the truth that makes us free. Happy Pride.